Aviation, Climate Resilience, and the Environment, Mr. Barry Collymore, Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Grenada Tourism Authority, and Director Cosmas Williams, a member of the board and also the President of the National Taxi Association. We are also very happy this afternoon to welcome members of the Grandans Craft and Spice Vendors Market and our esteemed media colleagues. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here. We are very happy to be able to introduce our minister this afternoon to make a very important announcement to you about a strategic alliance that has been formulated to develop our tourism business in Grenada. As you are aware, the pandemic, which started last March for Grenada, has affected many homes and their abilities to earn sustainable livelihoods in the tourism industry. And what COVID-19 has done to us has forced us to come together in a unified manner and to find innovative ways to resume business in a safe way and in an equitable manner. It is therefore my pleasure this afternoon to introduce our Honorable Minister for Tourism, Dr. Modeste Kerwin.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Roberts, and a pleasant good afternoon. Don't be jealous of me that I can take my mask out for a little while. I can only do that because I have some measure of confidence that being fully vaccinated and you being fully vaccinated, we can take a risk. Besides, this mask really masks what I'm saying. So I'll beg your indulgence for a little while. I want to recognize the chairman of our board, Mr. Barry Collymore, Mrs. Nicorian Roberts. She is manager of nautical development and acting marketing and sales manager at the Grenada Tourism Authority. Mr. Cosmas Williams, of course, president of the National Taxi Association, members of the media. Pope John Paul said, if it doesn't happen on television, it doesn't happen. So the media makes it happen. And all of the members, vendors, members of the Taxi Association here, and I see Mrs. Curl Hostialik. Good afternoon to you and other members of the Grenada Tourism Authority. A pleasant good afternoon. It is indeed a pleasure once again to be here with you, to join with Chairman and the others and Mr. Cosmas in announcing a new agreement that has been formed and to show solidarity with all of those in the tourism industry who have suffered tremendously. We all have, whether we're in management, whether we are the minister, or the minister reports to government or to cabinet, and whether you are the ones playing the roles, entertaining our visitors, creating the experience, whatever it is, selling your craft. I don't want to specify because I always leave off one and then somebody gets a little bit unhappy. But for all of you in the industry, it is indeed really a duty, but more than that, it is a pleasure to serve you and to have come to this juncture where we are today to announce this alliance. So the cruise ship has started, and so from the 9th of November to present time, we've had about 5 cruise ships coming in. And I know you have been asking questions, you have been wondering, some of you have felt left out, and you want to get back into what you used to do. And therefore, we have been making every effort that we could. The team at GTA, chairman of the board, his board, the members of staff of the GTA, the CEO, who is not here with us today, but always with us in spirit. Everybody just worked together, and my cabinet colleagues won't let me rest. Every time they hear a little grumble, they come to me, what you doing for the taxi? What you doing for the vendors? And so it has been a little time of anxiety, but pleasure in every little achievement. Because at one time, towards the end of August, September, October, I really thought we couldn't have cruise at this time. When we all know what happened, we all know the spike we had, and the number of cases and the rate that people were falling sick, the number of persons at the hospital. And what we were thinking about is a hospital, a field hospital. That's what we were thinking about, where to put more sick people. We couldn't even think about where the next cruise ship was coming from. But thank God, He has brought us this far. He has reversed the whole situation. Our numbers are down in terms of sick persons. Our numbers are down in terms of deaths and persons getting infected. And so we are in perhaps the best place that we could be during a COVID period, where we can think about bringing in people to our shores, giving them an experience. Even as we talk about cruise, we cannot forget that there are stayover passengers who have been coming in. The numbers have been increasing. The flights have been increasing. And so if you have, on several days, you do over 200-300 case tests, 400 tests, and you have one or no cases, you're in a good place in this COVID time, because you just need to watch the news to know that at this point in time, we are in a good place. And if we cannot start tourism now, perhaps there wouldn't be a better opportunity coming our way. But we decided on a phased approach. And most of the islands, you have friends there and you can ask. They too have gone through a phased approach. And they started what they call the bubble. Everybody knows what a bubble is. You take some soap with some water and you see this nice round thing. And whatever is inside it is there, and whatever is outside it is outside. And that little thing protects it, protects the inside from the outside. And that is what we sought to do. First of all, we had to look at the health situation for the bubble. People must be well. They must not have symptoms, not even sniffing or coughing or anything like that. Also, so they should, before going on to the cruise ships, they should have had a test that would say that they are negative. If they're positive, the cruise ship, they assured us that they would not embark on the ship. Then they had to be fully vaccinated, because whether we like the vaccine or not, it has been demonstrated that the vaccine reduces the possibility of you getting infected. And if you have less possibility of getting infected, then there's less possibility that you'll transmit it to somebody else. And even if you do get it, because sometimes people say, well, you will get, if you have the vaccine, you could get it. But it's the frequency. And when we compare people who are not vaccinated to people who are vaccinated, many times more people who are not vaccinated get the disease. And many times more get very ill, and many times more die than people who are vaccinated. So let us stay on the safer side. So the phased approach was the bubble. And so you would find that some of the more established and organized tour operators who knew the cruise ship people, they communicated with them. The passengers would book on the cruise ship, and they were received here and taken to very specific locations where in the facility, persons are also vaccinated and also would have tested negative. I want to compliment the chairman and the team of GTA, who have worked assiduously to check on all the sites. Some were ready, some were not. And we all work to get them into a better state of readiness, because you can't bring a cruise ship with thousands of people on board and have just 2 locations where to take them. And so it is a work in progress. We're looking for more, but we have at least 11 sites where the persons are fully vaccinated and visitors can have the experience of their life. So it means that we had lost momentum, and we have to regain that, and we are regaining it. So let us not lose patience. Let us be innovative. It is a time now. COVID has done a lot of bad, but COVID has given us an opportunity to be innovative. Come up with something new, a new way of doing things. Taxi men must no longer just sit down there and wait until somebody come. Taxi men must be organized, and they must market, and we must help them market on the cruise ship. And even before people board the cruise ship, so that you know beforehand that you're getting a certain amount of passengers, and anything extra will be icing on the cake. So you must not leave your home every day the cruise ship comes and wonder if you're going to get somebody. And again, compliments to the chairman and to Mr. Williams and the team for looking at innovative ways. I will give you a story, and you have to believe me on that. I got up one kind of midnight, early morning, 1 o'clock. I was just thinking, I know the bigger tour operators they're getting, and I have no problem with that. But we always say tourism is everybody's business, and we all have a part to play, and therefore tourism must put money in everybody's pocket who, wants to do that. And I got up and I was saying, what can we do? What can we do? The larger tour operators, well structured, well organized, and when we go to meetings, we like to have them. Because in addition to marketing their tours, they market Grenada and they give us support. But how can we get the taxi? The Taxi Association is well established. They were one of the first associations to start insisting and encouraging their membership to get vaccinated. Yet, the cruise ships are coming in and they don't know if they will get a fare. What's happening? And the morning I called, as a matter of fact, I had the phone in my hand and to call the chairman. And the chairman called me, and the same topic I had on my mind, he had it, and we brainstormed. And this is where we are today, the bubble tour for the National Taxi Association. And so I think the hard work that was put in it by everybody, the dialogue, the openness, the frankness, it was not difficult because people wanted to know why is only fully vaccinated. So that's why I had to try to explain a little bit why. Just so that you can be safe, Grenada can be safe. We can stay with the 0 new cases, the 0 deaths, and so on. Because you saw how easily it turned. We had that experience. We can't go down that road again. We can't go back. I was coming down today and somebody was telling me, well, the booking so far had not been good. But now that we have removed the quarantine and people don't have to do the PCR testing, the bookings are coming in. So the season would not be lost because we're in the winter season. Season would not be lost. And this is what we have sought to do. But we cannot leave the vendors behind. They work, they make their craft, you do your things, and you've been sitting there. So some of you have been there for days. We met with some of the vendors yesterday. And they were saying, well, they were told, come on, let's start, let's make it lively. But if we're not organized, you will sit there and it will not get lively. And therefore, we have to work with you, and we have some plans. Chairman, I'll be guided as to when we're ready. But what we have assured the cruise ships that will be progressively opening up, that we will have more organized tours for them. And, it would have been sad for us to have the whole cruise ship season and not one tourist could go to Grandans. Grandans receive so many accolades, so many kudos, so many praises from people. One of the best beaches in the world, the best in the world, whatever. We've gotten it. But if we're saying that, and people are saying it, and we're saying that they can't come to Grenada, it would be sad. Not so, my brother, it would be sad. So, we have looked for ways as to how, because we know we can't tell our beloved citizens they can't go in Grandans. So we have to find a way to keep them safe, keep visitors safe, and so on. And I think that strategy has been worked out with the Taxi Association and Grenada Tourism Authority. Kudos to you guys for doing that. I have gone longer than I even intended to say, but sometimes you need to explain certain things. Why? Because sometimes people think, well, you're favoring one set to the other. Sometimes you have to start where it's easiest and start with those who are ready to go. But as other people come on board, if we have 100 vendors and 50 already now, we work with the 50. But we're not going to forget the other 50 because everybody has to have some food on the table. So for those who are not ready, we will work with you for whatever it takes so that in the shortest possible time, you will get on board. I cannot forget the water taxis because Grandlands is their business. They take up the passengers here and they go straight across. So if we say Grandlands is closed, what do they do? And therefore, this is where we are. And I trust that our partners, all of you, will support us in this to ensure that it works, and to encourage your friends and the other people that you work with. If you're not vaccinated, try and get vaccinated instead of fighting us, because that is the agreement we have with the cruise ship. We tell them fully vaccinated to come in. So how are we taking them and bring them where people not fully vaccinated? It's not fair. And therefore, one, we have to do our best to prevent the spread of this virus in our country. And two, we have to be fair to other people. And remember that it's not just about us getting $1, but it's us getting $1 and staying safe to spend it. So, my dear brothers and sisters, this is an extremely happy moment for me. I would, Chairman Collymore Williams, who will explain? Somebody will explain. So, I am just here to declare my support for the project and to seek your support in doing the right things, make it work. The beach is going to be, and all of that will be explained. Grenadians will still be allowed to use their beautiful beach. We hope we will not, that the visitors will not be in their way. We will do our best. But I think if we do not share this beautiful treasure of ours, it will be a sad loss. So let us work together. Let us remember that a number of persons for the better part of 2 years have not made $1. And so we have suffered with them. And now vendors, taxi drivers, water operators, and others, they are ready to make the $1. Let us support them and do it in a safe way. May God bless us.
Thank you, Minister Modeste. There are 5 steps in this pilot bubble tour, this strategic alliance formulated between the National Taxi Association and the Grandlands Craft and Spice Market vendors. It is the creation of a sanitized, safe bubble tour. It is a pilot project for the resumption of beach tours for our cruise guests. And we have to look at this as the ability to be united to make this work. We expect that it will create a safe environment for the plethora of small businesses that provide goods and services to the cruise subsector. Each beach bubble tour will last for 3 hours. It will initiate at the designated National Taxi Association kiosk at the Esplanade Mall using fully vaccinated NTA taxi tour operators. The visitors will be dropped off at the main entrance of the Grandlands Craft and Spice Market and have the opportunity to purchase quality craft items, local food and drink from our fully vaccinated vendors. The tour will culminate after the 3-hour period when the visitor is collected at the original drop-off point and returned to the Melville Street Cruise Terminal. While on the beach, visitors will be allowed to rent beach chairs from fully vaccinated and GTA-registered beach chair operators, and the area where these activities are to be carried out will be cordoned off and monitored by our GTA security team, our members of the Royal Grenada Police Force that work with the GTA. This strategic pilot beach bubble tour will be evaluated on a daily basis, and any gaps or challenges will be addressed immediately to enhance the visitor experience whilst keeping everyone safe. The beach bubble tours will only be offered on cruise ship days, and therefore, all vendors, operators, staff, and patrons at the market on those days must be in a fully vaccinated space. So you have to be fully vaccinated in order to secure the sanitized bubble and give our cruise guests the confidence that public health standards in Grenada are no less than what is provided on the ship to keep ourselves safe and to keep our visitors safe. Before I introduce our chairman for the Grenada Tourism Authority Board of Directors, I will just remind us all that if we say we can do it successfully, then we will unite and we will do it successfully. If we say we can't do it successfully, then it is our responsibility to accept the challenges. But I feel that once we are all able to adhere to these 5 simple steps, we will be on a good footing to take our cruise business safely forward. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Barry Collymore, Chairman of the Grenada Tourism Authority Board of Directors. Chairman Collymore.
Thank you. Thank you, Nikoyan. Honorable Minister, it's always a pleasure to be working with you. And I think within recent weeks we've had a number, after a very frustrating period, we've had a number of successes, which I'm really happy about. My colleague on the Board of Tourism, Mr. Cosmos Williams, who, only the people within the board, within that boardroom, know what is happening. But I'll tell you something, that Cosmos is always looking out for the small business in our board. Always. When we take decisions, he's always saying, well, what about the small man? So I am always pleased to have his guidance, and he keeps us straight and looking out for the small businesses. We have as well my friends from the Grenada National Taxi Association, along with representatives from the Grenada's market, vendors market, and then, of course, Miss Nikoyan Roberts, our marketing manager, and Curl Hoshialik, our product development manager, members of the media, and I understand this may be going live as well, so good afternoon as well to the general members of the public, and to Richie and the team bringing Naz and the boys bringing this live. Thank you very much. I'm really happy that we could do this. The GTA has 2 mandates: international marketing and product development. Today we're going to add a third, and that is tourism business linkages. And this is the first of its kind, where the GTA will help persons in business enter the tourism economy. The taxi men, the vendors, you are the taxi men. You are no longer just, not that being a taxi man is there's anything bad about it. In fact, it is a profession that allows you guys a lot of independence, and they're able to make an honest living. But I think must see yourself not as the individual, but as the collective. The National Taxi Association, not just being a group of taxi men, but the National Taxi Association now being a tour operator in its own right, able to offer tours to the cruise ships directly, and we will help you do that. Same way, we have the vendors market, a collection of vendors at the market, all selling different things, some selling the same things. you now must not look at yourself just as a individual vendors, I think, but you must look at the Grenada's vendors market as a destination in its own right. And we are going to help you upgrade it. You know, I've spent a lot of time, too much time, I think, trying to tell people about vaccination at the market. I think we've been successful because the vast majority of vendors are now vaccinated. I want to take the next step. The next step has to be upgrades to the Grenada's vendors market. How can we make it nicer? How can we make it more of an experience? And how can we make it more comfortable for everyone? But before I go on, I want to just, if you will allow me, there are two gentlemen who have worked very closely with us on this. My colleague Cosmos, if you can come up with me, and Ralph. These two gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, have worked. And before I go on, I think really and truly it's more about them than it is about me. I will close, but I will allow them to say something, and then I will wrap up. But these two gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, have worked really tirelessly with us to try and make this happen, where we now have an alliance between the National Taxi Association and the vendors market. So. You go first.
You want to go?
Good afternoon to everyone. Minister of Tourism, I want to say how proud I am in terms of your effort during this whole period. I think for the past 2 years, we have been in a hole. But there's light at the end of the tunnel based on the level of work that was put into what we are experiencing today. I want to say that the cooperation and the unification of the Grenada National Transport Association, Taxi Association, and members of the Grenada Spice and Craft Market, our cooperation and our working together is not new. I just think we have stepped it up a little bit further and strengthened it in a way that we could coordinate and do better business. Over the years, the taxi always drop off, always patronize us, always. And I must say thanks to the President, who have been also part and parcel of this whole journey. Again, I want to thank the Minister, I want to thank the Chairman, and it was a pleasure working in terms of putting ideas, thoughts, and making and trying to see our best. We could come to this conclusion in terms of doing business again at the Grenada Craft and Spice Market, together with the National Taxi Association. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, Madam Minister, vendors, taximen, and Ms. Nikoyan, my brethren, the chairman. It's not an easy road, but at the end of the day, God is our provider. Yeah. And I believe in prayers, and once you're praying, you're going to prosper. Yeah. And the world today has changed, and we have to accept changes. We have to live with the time and the tide. We have, it's not an easy road. When the cruise ships, 2 years now, we haven't worked. Most of us inside here, and it's tough. You know, you have light bill, food bill, and everything going up. So the chairman say he can't sit on his laurel, and guys getting a check at the end of the month, and we ain't getting nothing. He say he had to help us in all form, and I'm very grateful to him, Mr. Colimo, and the minister. The minister called me, and she say, Williams, I have to do what I could for the people on the ground, make $1. It hurting me. It's not an easy road. So now we reach a way where we come together with the bubble tour. We're going to work hand in hand, the taximan and the vendors. And I feel it's our duty collectively to let it bear fruit. Yeah. Encourage the people to get vaccine, because at the end of the day, it's a change world. I went by a doctor recently and I told him, when they file checkup, just food for thought. I say, Doc, how you do? He say, not bad. I said, Doc, what do you think about the vaccine? He said, William, it's up to you. But I had no choice, and my doctor had to take it. He said, imagine if I were going to Trinidad, I have to be vaccinated, so I have no choice. It's not to say, not to say you want it, but we have no choice. It's the time and the tide. And we have to encourage our people, if they don't want to take the vaccine, you can't shove it down their throat, but cover up. Wear your mask, because all of us looking for $1, and let us respect it, and it's going to bear fruit. And the bubble, I do believe the bubble is going to work, and we have to make it work. Yeah. So once again, I thank the minister and Mr. Kalimo, and Grenada on a whole going to benefit, because when we have $1, we spend it. We spend it. So at the end of the day, next week, hopefully, there's a ship coming. I think it's Silver Seas. I hope that start the ball rolling. And they say we're going to have a kiosk here, and then we do a tour, end up at the beach. We're going to educate the tourists. Tell them what is what to expect, and let us work in harmony for Grenada's sake. And in the name of the good God, we're going to do our best. Amen. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. So, I mean, I don't think there's much left for me to say now. I just encourage everyone to use the opportunity well. And, be united. Be happy for each other. If a man is making $1 or a lady's making $1, don't be jealous of the person. You know what I mean? Work together, because I think that, life is not just about what you can get for yourself. It has to be about how much you can help others. And I think that this alliance of two important businesses in Grenada, the vendors market is a prime location. You got to think of it. Don't just think of it as a not that there's nothing wrong with a craft and vendors market, but it is a craft and vendors market on one of the best locations in Grenada. It's a prime spot. So be proud of it. We will work with you in terms of. I hope that I've had all of the vaccine conversations that I've had to have, and now we can talk about making it better. And there's already a plan which will be announced. There are 2 local architects, minister, that have volunteered their time to look at how we upgrade and you will be getting something soon to look at, because the minister has always said we have to make the environment better. And then for the Taxi Association, we will have a kiosk, and we will have the necessary training. The GTA is going to help you with the training and the international travel for the conferences and so on that you may have to do. But I also want to say this, that there may be others out there, other alliances that we can help to facilitate. The GTA is willing to help more and more people get into the tourism economy. It is not just now about getting back to normal. We should get back to better. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We certainly appreciated your presence here this afternoon so that we could continue to partner with you, collaborate with you, examine every piece of information, look at our operations from top to bottom, and ensure that Grenada remains a shining star for all visitors to come and be comfortable that when they are visiting, to experience what we have to offer, our fine attractions, our unique cuisine, everything that we have, our warm and hospitable people, that we keep them safe while they're here, that we keep ourselves and our loved ones safe. And we look forward to working, as the chairman said, with other small businesses to develop you to the level where you can earn more sustainable incomes and provide additional benefits for your family through travel and tourism. Thank you.